Good evening, all of you. A warm welcome to you all to the Ahmedabad Management Association and the MSME conference. I'll request our dignitaries to please take the stage. Rajiv bhai, Jaimin bhai, Gokul bhai, welcome to the Ahmedabad Management Association. Of course, this is in fact a long week at the Ahmedabad Management Association, as you all must be aware. We have something called as the Management Week that we are celebrating. As a part of that, we tried to decode Gen Z. In fact, I see some of young generation sitting over here. While the world is trying to understand what are your likes and dislikes and preferences and not, we are trying to understand that as the management association. So we started off the management week as a program on Gen Z. This is MSME conference that we are having, a half-day conference. This will then be followed by an innovation conference, then the IP conference, and a book launch. So it's a fest in itself, a whole management week that we are celebrating. And as a part of this, this is one of its first kind of attempt. Of course, for MSME, we have done a lot of work, but first kind of an attempt to have a half-a-day conference, and I'm sure it's going to be a very, very fruitful evening for all of you. Without taking much time, I would like to right away welcome my president at the Ahmedabad Management Association, Shri Rajiv Gandhi, for his welcome speech. Rajiv bhai is the managing director and CEO of Hester Biosciences. Rajiv bhai, if you can please come forward.
Good evening, everybody, all present over here, members on the dais, guests, students. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the MSME Conclave 2026, organized as part of the AMA Management Fest 2026. MSMEs are the backbone of India's economy, fostering entrepreneurship, contributing significantly to growth, employment, and innovation. MSMEs represent the resilience, determination, and ambition of the Indian industry. MSMEs and AMA have a deep connection. AMA has nurtured and guided many ambitions towards becoming MSMEs. Our academic contribution has been high, for which we are very proud of. AMA also believes that management education must go beyond classrooms and directly support entrepreneurs and business leaders on the ground. This thought, and with the support of Dr. Jaimin Vasa, we created the Dr. Jaimin Vasa AMA MSME Development Center at AMA. I thank Dr. Jaimin Vasa for his contribution, which has been financial as well as beyond. Thank you. This center has become an integral part of our efforts to create awareness, education, and long-term capability building for the MSME sector. Through this center, we work to create awareness on emerging opportunities and policy initiatives, promote education and managerial learning for MSMEs, enable practical experience-driven initiatives through conclaves, workshops, and monitoring programs. Coming to today's event, the theme of today's conclave, Transforming for Tomorrow, Growth with Resilience, Opportunities for MSMEs, is highly relevant as MSMEs need to adapt to the changing markets, technologies, and business environments. We are honored to have Dr. Jaimin Vasa with us for this theme address. His experience and insights will set the tone for a meaningful discussion. We are also pleased to have my friend and FICCI Gujarat Council Chairman, Mr. Gokul Jaykrishna, joining us as a speaker, bringing valuable industry perspectives. Welcome, Gokul. Moderated by Mr. Pathak, our panel discussions with Shri Manoj Kumar Vats, Shri Tejas Mehta, Mr. Pilak Shah, and Ms. Amoli Shah will be extremely engaging. Their collective experiences will add depth and practicality to today's conversation. Platforms like this Conclave are designed to encourage dialogue, learning, and collaboration. With this, I also urge all to be actively engaged in this whole process and make the most out of it. Thank you all for being part of this conclave and for your continued support to AMA and its vision towards taking education to the next level. I wish the MSME Conclave 2026 a meaningful and successful outcome for everyone present over here. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Rajiv bhai, for that warm welcome and also laying out the theme of the conference and the upcoming session that we have. Before I welcome Jaimin bhai for the speech, I'll take this moment to formally introduce our chief guest, Mr. Gokul Jaykrishna, who comes with over 30 years of leadership experience. Of course, his age and looks doesn't give away that he has 30 years of experience, but ladies and gentlemen, hold on to that for sure. Exactly, absolutely. So 30 years of experience with a long-term win-win approach for excellence across all the stakeholders. With a managing director and CEO responsibilities at the Asahi Songwon College Limited, he drives manufacturing excellence and global competitiveness anchored in trust, transparency, and teamwork. As a chairman of FICCI, Gujarat State Council, he works towards sustainable manufacturing, technology adaptation, and stronger industry-government collaboration to create future-ready ecosystems. Gokul bhai, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being with us today evening. I'll request Rajiv bhai and Jaimin bhai to please welcome and felicitate Gokul bhai on behalf of the Ahmedabad Management Association. In fact, there is a nice Mata ki Pachedi that we give since last few days, rather few months at AMA. Wonderful. Thank you, Gokul bhai. And now I invite Jaimin Vasa sir for his theme address. Dr. Jaimin Vasa, of course, is a veteran and somebody who needs no introduction. He is a board member at the Ahmedabad Management Association and a former president of the Gujarat Chamber of Commerce as well. So, welcome, please.
Thank you, Jainil. Good evening, Shri Rajiv, President AMA, Mr. Manoj Kumar Vats, Director MSME DA for Ahmedabad, Mr. Tejas Mehta, Assistant Commissioner Industries and Mines Department, Ahmedabad, Government of Gujarat. I can't say my dear friend Gokul because probably he must not be knowing. First time I was appointed as a chairman of MSME committee at the time of presidency of his mother at Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And almost for 12 continuous years, I was the president and chairman of MSME committee in Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So Rajiv, Gokul Jaykrishna, chairman, FICCI, Gujarat Council, Mr. Pathak, Chandramauli Pathak, today's moderator and very wizard and learned personality, Mr. Pilak Shah, whole-time director, Harsha Engineers International Limited, Ms. Amoli Shah, director, Prashant Group, my friend Jainil, and Unmesh Dixit, the executive director, AMA. Also, the esteemed industry leaders, policy makers, academicians, entrepreneurs, students from the various university, NFSU, GTU, and Gujarat University, and they are our outreach partners of today's event, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Ahmedabad Management Association and Dr. Jaimin Vasa AMA MSME Development Center, I extend a very warm welcome, respectful welcome to you all to this important event. Next. Yeah. Dear friend, AMA under the banner of Jaimin Vasa AMA Center organized almost 13 editions of SME growth series in the past and have explored wide range of themes like branding, finance, digital technology, lean manufacturing, exports, family business, women entrepreneurship, skill development, research collaboration, etc. Each edition has brought together thought leaders and change makers, creating a robust platform at AMA for learning, networking, and progress. Next. Today, we focus on another important topic, transforming for tomorrow, growth and resilience opportunities for MSMEs. And I am fortunate to brief you today on a subject that lies at the heart of India's economic future, issues and challenges of MSMEs in the broader vision of transforming MSME for tomorrow with growth and resilience opportunities for MSMEs. This is not merely a discussion topic. It is development initiative and also imperative. It is a national priority. Next. Yeah. We are all aware that MSMEs conditions. Fourth slide. We are all aware that MSME contribute nearly 30 to 31% of India's GDP, around 35% of the manufacturing output, and close to 45 to 48% of exports. I think our expert Manoj Kumar Vats will agree with my data, making them one of the largest job creator in the country. But despite this enormous contribution, MSMEs continue to operate under the significant structural constraint. Behind every success story, there is a struggle. And behind every growth number, there is always a challenge. So, next slide. If India is to transform into a developed nation, we must honestly examine the issues confronting its MSMEs, and it is very important and significant for the growth and development of MSMEs. Number one, these are the challenges. Access to finance, the persistent bottleneck. The first and perhaps the most critical challenge is to access finance timely at an affordable cost. Many MSMEs face difficulty in securing working capital, high collateral requirement, delayed credit approvals, cash flow disruptions due to the delayed payments, and also especially from large buyers, strained liquidity, limited financial literacy, and also further complicates credit management, and without financial strength, resilience become difficult. An MSME without capital is like an engine without fuel. Technology adoption gap is the second challenge. We are living in an era defined by the digital transformation, Industry 4.0, AI, automation, data analysis. These are no longer now the optional for the competitiveness. The gap between digitality and advanced forms and the traditional enterprise is widening. If not addressed, this gap could become even divide the business. Next. Market access and the global competitiveness is the third challenge. While MSMEs contribute significantly to exports, many MSMEs still face the difficulty in accessing international markets, although they are competitive in all respect, and also lack of branding and marketing expertise. Second vulnerable challenge is supply chain. Recent global disruptions, we all know, revealed how fragile supply chain can be. Many MSMEs depend heavily on single suppliers, imported raw materials, and limited logistics networks. Geopolitical tensions, we all recently see, and shipping delays and cost volatility expose these vulnerabilities. Resilience demand diversification, not dependence. Then what is the next challenge is skill gaps and the workforce challenge. Human capital is the strength of MSMEs, and in a knowledge-driven economy, skilling is not an expense, it is an investment. Without upgrading skills, technology adoption becomes ineffective. Next challenge is regulatory and compliance border. In a globalized economy, isolation is not a protection, it is a limitation. Global quality, global certification, and global positioning are essential. While reforms have simplified many procedures, MSMEs will experience compliance complexity, frequent regulatory changes by the government, limited awareness of available schemes, and ease of doing business must translate into the ease of operating business. Next challenge is sustainability and ESG. Environmental social governance is a pressures. Global markets increasingly demand like environmental compliance, carbon footprint monitoring, and a sustainable sourcing ESG reporting. Next slide. Now sustainability is no longer a choice. It is becoming a market entry requirements. So we have to turn the challenge into the opportunities. I would request now my younger students and the bubbling startups and entrepreneurs, you may or may not understand thoroughly this particular language, but you understand it, you note down it, because you will talk to your professors or HODs and they will explain you while in this. Otherwise, you can always approach to us, because these are very important for you to become tomorrow's entrepreneur. Now the question arises, are these hurdles mere barriers or opportunities in disguise? Every challenge harbors the seed of transformation. So today at this MSME Conclave, Transferring for Tomorrow, Growth with Resilience, Opportunity for MSMEs, I invite you to join me on a journey through three pivotal pillars. First, embracing resilience in a turbulent times, unlocking pathways for the sustainable growth, and last but not the least, seizing tomorrow's opportunities. By the end, may we live not just the inspired, but equipped with actionable insights to transform our MSMEs for tomorrow's resilient, prosperous future. So, by embracing resilience, we have to understand the lessons from adversity. Imagine a sapling bending in a storm. Amoli will understand. A sapling bending in a storm, not breaking, but emerging stronger. This is the story of Indian MSMEs. We are witnessing rapid digital disruption, global supply chain reconfiguration, geopolitical uncertainties, and climate-related pressures. We are having pressures and inflammatory cycles. Now that is instabilities of foreign exchange also, and changing consumer expectations. So far, the traditional business model is now no longer sufficient. Efficiency alone is not enough. Scale alone is not enough. Even growth alone is also not enough. What are required is growth anchored is in resilience. Now, I brief you the importance of understanding the growth with resilience. Resilience is the ability to absorb the shocks, adapt to change, and emerge stronger. Growth is expansion of markets, revenue, innovation, and impact. When combined together, they create a sustainable enterprise capable of thriving in the uncertainty. Next. For MSMEs, resilience must be built across 5 critical dimensions. First is the financial resilience. As I explained to you, it lies strong cash flow management, access to the diversified credit sources, adoption of digital financial systems. Second is the operational resilience. It means the diversified networks, lean manufacturing practices, quality certification, and risk assessment mechanism. Supply chain disruptions during recent global crisis taught us a powerful lesson. Dependence without diversification creates nothing but vulnerability. Third is digital resilience. Digital transformation is no longer optional. As I told you, it is necessary, like e-commerce platforms, digital payments, cloud computing, ERP systems, artificial intelligence, and data analytics. Technology adoption enhances productivity, transparency, and the competitiveness. The MSMEs that embrace, very important, the MSME that embrace digital tools today will dominate tomorrow. That is very important point is there. I think the wizard and the expert successful entrepreneurs know much better than me. But fourth is a market resilience, like export diversification, brand development, customer engagement through digital channels, and the participation in global value chains. Indian MSMEs have the potential to integrate more deeply into the global markets, especially as the international companies seek reliable alternative supply bases. It is very important. We have to be prepared to accept the invitation from the global as a vendor and supplier. Environmental and sustainable resilience is very important. Sustainability is not merely compliance, it is a competitiveness. That MSME that adopt sustainable practices will gain preferential access to the global market. Next. Now, growth without resilience is marriage. Together, they forge destiny. MSME must scale smartly, leveraging India's demographic dividend and digital resolution. Now, how to seize the opportunity for tomorrow? The future beckons with the promise. Under President Trump's global realignments and Indian Atmanirbhar push, MSMEs can capture semiconductor sector, defense sector, green energy, and EV supply chain. Now I want some ideas about the golden opportunity available to MSMEs. Dear friends, first is semiconductors. Power today's economy from vehicles and mobile devices to data centers, medical equipment, clean technologies, and of course, the upcoming AI revolution. The invention of the integrated circuit, that is IC, started by the United States on a path to early leadership in design and manufacturing. So, semiconductors in India are ingrained in modern economics. India has relied heavily on importing semiconductors for decades. Our integrated circuits and the wafer chips came from countries in East Asia, particularly Taiwan, South Korea, and China. So, in contrast, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi had recently started an initiative aimed of turning India into the global semiconductor powerhouse. India now designs, fabricates, and packages semiconductors to meet the domestic demand, and this growth is driven by Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and the $10 billion India Semiconductor Mission. So India's semiconductor sector offers growing opportunities for MSMEs, particularly through supply chain rules and the government incentives under the India Semiconductor Mission, ISM. Next slide. To reduce, nine number. To reduce import dependence and attract fabrication and advanced packaging investments, the government launched the program for development of semiconductor and display manufacturing, which will help MSME as a ancillary industries. Key opportunities for MSME can target niche areas like IC design. Our expert Prashant is here in these areas also. So IC design, specialized software for automotive or IoT application, and supplying components such as PCB board and discrete parts where value addition is very high and entry barriers are very less. That full fabrication. India's ISM phase 2 with $15 billion incentives supports MSMEs in equipment components, raw material, leveraging chemical reserves and services like R&D or logistics, fostering roles in the three-pillar supply like design, manufacturing and assembly testing. So MSMEs can provide many services to participate in such ecosystem, including ATMP services, high purity materials, chip design, clean room support, and opportunity exists, but MSMEs need to make their presence known and take the initiative to capitalize. Next. Also, one of the emerging sector opportunities for MSME is defense and ancillary manufacturing. India's defense industry is now undergoing a dramatic change. With India's growing defense needs and the strong emphasis on self-reliance and indigenization, it is necessary for the privatization, which is emerging as a key driver of modernization and self-reliance in the defense manufacturing. The role of MSME in India's defense sector, there are approximately 16,000 MSMEs are actively involved just in 1 year, involved in defense manufacturing, supplying components, electronic, drones and systems. They contribute significantly to achieve high defense production and export targets. So fostering indigenous capabilities, Atmanirbhar, Government of India has put in place a handful of initiatives and policies for stimulating the involvement of MSMEs in defense sector. Next. Several countries have successfully integrated MSMEs and new startups into their defense sectors, providing valuable lessons for India in this process. Defense tech collaboration. This lesson, Rajiv, really we have to understand that how they have supported MSME for the defense sector. Let us take an example of Israel. Known for its robust defense innovation ecosystem, Israel has successfully integrated startups and SMEs into the defense industry, fostering cutting-edge technologies. Israeli startups like Tri and Aerobatics are using autonomous system in creating advanced weaponry for armed forces. Take an example of United Kingdom. The UK's Defence and Security Accelerator, that is called DASA program, supports SMEs in developing innovative defense and security system. And United States, the Small Business Innovation Research, they call MSME as a SBIR program in the US, provides funding to small businesses for defense-related R&D. Companies like Palantir Technologies are the products of these initiatives. Next slide. Dear friends, I will also brief you the future trends in the export opportunities. Rising global demand for specialized and niche products, MSMEs are increasingly capturing global market share by offering specialized, high quality and niche products such as organic goods, artisanal crafts, sustainable fashion, and tailor-made industrial components. The rapid adoption of e-commerce marketplaces such as Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, Etsy, and regionally focused platforms has demonstrated access to the international buyers, and MSME can now market, sell, and deliver their products globally with lower distribution cost and the streamlined logistics. Now, what is the rising demand in emerging markets is emerging economies in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America are becoming the prominent import destination due to rapid urbanization and rising disposable incomes. So, targeting such markets can diversify exports, revenues, and reduce dependence. Now, again, coming back to the government support and trade agreements. Friends, several countries are offering incentives, subsidies, export facilitation schemes, and simplified compliance processes to boost their MSME export. now which are not like happening in our India. Slowly, gradually it is happening. Now digital trade finance and payment solutions, access to export finance is becoming simpler through digital trade finance platforms, fintech solutions and blockchain based payment systems. Our enhanced logistics and supply chain is also improved. Our logistic expert Samir is over here. He will agree. The global logistics networks are becoming faster, more transparent and cost effective through technologies like real-time tracking and automated warehousing. Now next is customization and value-added services. Global buyers increasingly prefer products tailored to local preference. MSMEs that offer customization, after-sales support, technical assistance and value-added services will only attract long-term partnerships and contract and recurring the export orders. I think Pilak will agree with me because they are the best in giving the customer services. Same is Amoli. Friends, there are many examples for the opportunity for the other major MSME sectors like chemicals, pharmaceutical, textile and engineering. But one thing in general I say, due to recent budget, FTA agreements and the reduced US tariff, I believe that these markets has a tremendous opportunity, and particularly in pharma, whereby we have become the pharmaceutical city of the world. So I think this has the wonderful, as pharmaceutical remains one of the India's greatest strengths, and MSMEs are at its very heart. From bulk drugs and APIs to finished formulation and contract manufacturing, small enterprises contribute significantly for making the pharmacy of the world. In textile sector is also one of the largest employees in the MSME ecosystem and continues to demonstrate resilience and adaptability and strong domestic consumption, evolving fashion trends and growing demand for value-added garments provide stable internal markets. And also MSMEs in engineering sector, our experts are over here from engineering sector, form the backbone of India's manufacturing landscape. They supply critical components such as auto parts, bearings, pumps, valves, fabricated goods that support infrastructure, renewable energy and industrial growth. With the government's continued push towards infrastructure, expansion and industrial modernization and the capex, domestic demand is strong and sustained. And one of the global front, Indian engineering products are gaining recognition in the US, Europe, Africa and the Middle East for their cost efficiency and improving quality standards. Our manufacturers are very precise so far as the engineering is concerned. By emerging digital manufacturing, precision engineering and integration into the global supply chain, MSMEs in this sector can significantly expand. Friends, in today's dynamic and highly competitive business environment, innovation, design and technology are no longer optional. They are essential drivers of growth and sustainability for MSMEs. And for that, innovation enables the enterprise to develop the new products, improve processes, reduce costs, and respond quickly to changing market demands. If it transforms traditional business models into the agile, value-driven system and capable of competing both domestically and also at exports. Technology acts as a force multiplier. Adoption of digital manufacturing, automation, AI-driven quality control, data analytics, and smart supply chain systems improve productivity. Together, innovation, design, and technology strengthen the competitiveness by improving quality, reducing cost, enhancing speed to market, and building resilience. Next, when India supports its local small and medium enterprise, MSMEs, it strengthens its economic sovereignty. The Honorable Prime Minister's clarion call for vocal for local represents a transformative economic vision aimed at strengthening domestic enterprise and positioning India as a very competitive global manufacturing and innovation hub. Far beyond a slogan, it is a strategic movement that urges citizens to champion Indian products and motivates the enterprises, particularly MSMEs, to elevate quality, innovation, and the global standards. In short, fellow MSMEs friends, transformation demands resilience, fueled growth. Together, let us make MSMEs not just the contributors, but architect of India's $30 trillion economy by 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jaimin bhai. I think there's a saying, be it at chamber or at the AMA, ke Jaimin bhai etle MSME and MSME etle Jaimin bhai. So I think you can see that kind of passion in his speech, not just challenges, but the opportunities, everything that they can, in his words, you can see the pain and the opportunities of the MSME. So thank you so much. I think, Jaimin bhai, the kind of passion with which you carry the mission is truly incredible. Thank you so much. And Gokul bhai, looking forward to hear you now. In fact, when he was taking the ramp, he was telling that it's not very frequent that he is a public person, but today at AMA we have the honor of hearing you, and I'm sure, like me, many of us for the first time look forward to hearing from you. Please, thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for me to be addressing a young crowd such as yours. I can see in the crowd students, I can see entrepreneurs, and I can see MSMEs, also some who are our partner suppliers also are here, and it's an honor for me to be here today and addressing you. First, let me start by thanking my dear friend Rajiv Gandhi, the president of AMA, and Jaimin bhai Vyas, Dr. Jaimin bhai Vyas, for inviting me today to address you. Rajiv Gandhi is taking forward the AMA leadership in a very able way. I'm very proud that my grandfather, grandmother, my father and mother all have contributed in their own way to AMA, and it's very good to see Rajiv take AMA in a very proactive manner forward. Also, Dr. Jaimin bhai Vyas, he, as you all know, is a big stalwart for MSMEs. He's worked a lot, he's contributed financially and with his time, and I thank both of you for having me over today. So, friends, today I have not actually, I have a little few points, but I'm not going to read, or I haven't a speech prepared, because a lot of good points and the background of the importance and the opportunities of MSMEs have been already spoken about. So in today's speech, if I am able to leave the audience a little more inspired at the end of my speech and little more motivated to be able to fulfill their own dreams, and along with it, the dreams of our Prime Minister and the FICCI Bharat 2047, I think I'll have done my job. So let me start by saying that I'll break the speech up. I won't speak too long, but I'll break it up in three phases. One, why MSMEs matter. Two, how MSMEs are important for the globe, to make India a global manufacturing hub and to meet the Prime Minister's noble dreams of FICCI Bharat 47 as well as Make in India. And then most importantly, leave you guys with some shared experiences from my journey of from a micro to a larger enterprise over 20 years, and see if I can give you a few suggestions. So to start with, why MSMEs matter. So just imagine 50% of India's exports are coming from companies such as you. 50%. We hear about big corporate names, but 50% of the exports are coming from MSMEs. 31 to 32% of the GDP of India is coming from MSMEs. 11 crore jobs you all create. 11 crore families you are supporting. So the extent and the importance of what you do is beyond words. I mean, the contribution that MSMEs make to India as a country is, you cannot actually imagine or start talking about the importance of that. Why MSMEs matter to our dream of India to become a global manufacturing hub is because the sheer opportunity of employment that MSMEs present, even capital investment, and most importantly, the future belongs to youth. And MSMEs are the people, the entrepreneurs who start young, who have ideas, who have dreams, and who make the real growth of India possible. Many times it goes unrecognized, but it is extremely, extremely important. So the importance of MSMEs to realize that dream is beyond words. The government is now starting to recognize this and giving a lot of incentives and benefits to MSMEs. So MSMEs have today a better opportunity to grow and contribute to the nation than probably ever in India's history. So just to step back a little, why the challenge we have is beyond our own company, my company or your company. Of course, we have many challenges, but why the contribution and the challenge we have is substantially more important. India has been doing exceedingly well, 7% growth amongst the largest growing, fastest growing large economies in the world, creditable, no doubt about it. But if we actually look at the honest truth, US and China are attracting capital and risk capital far faster and in larger proportions than India. So while India is doing better than most of the world, but US and China seem to be running away with it. So in India, it is up to us, industrialists, entrepreneurs, to step up and create an environment along with the government of India that enables our country to actually create a manufacturing base and a manufacturing factory of the world. Particularly sitting in Gujarat, and a lot of you are from Gujarat because the audience is a lot from the state. The contribution of Gujarat to India is disproportionate to its 5% population, 8.5% of contribution to GDP and about 20 to 25% of contribution to export, say pharmaceuticals, it's 40% contribution. So in that sense, the opportunity and the responsibility actually that we have as MSMEs is beyond words, and we should seize this opportunity and make the best of it. So now coming to the third part of it, what you can do as students and having dreams to start an enterprise and create a business, or as MSMEs to create or step up to the next phase of growth. Because growing at every level from, starting a company is difficult, then getting beyond the 50 crore mark is difficult, then growing beyond the 200 crore mark is difficult. But there are things that you can employ and do which can enable this. So I probably like to stress on 3 points today. The first one is AI. So AI, now everybody has heard about it over the last 6 months, and most of you are doing either ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok. But AI is not just a tool, it is an enabler to success. AI is going to, in the next 3 to 4 years, going to completely revolutionize the way all of us actually approach our lives as well as business. So in business, it's going to actually displace a lot of jobs, but create a lot of opportunities. So I just recently had a talk at my company, Asahi. So today, as I speak as MD and CEO of Asahi and Chairman of FICCI Gujarat, when I address my staff, my employees, I told them that, and I took feedback from each one of them. I told them the importance of AI, and then I asked them to share their experiences. And I was amazed at the fact that in the last 6 months, each one of these employees is doing 2 to 3x of what they were doing earlier. Literally 2 to 3x. And this is the beginning of AI. So the point I am driving and the message I want to communicate is, if we want to actually contribute in a meaningful way and grow and become, a cutting edge company or a business, even if we are small, we need to address improvements in productivity. So how do you improve productivity? One is simply you put more capital and you produce more. You increase capacity and you produce more. This is a conventional way of improving productivity, but this the whole world knows and everybody does it. You need finance for it. But there is another. What if I were to tell you that there's another way to improve productivity? You can improve productivity without capital, just by the use of AI, because it improves the productivity of each of us individuals, our employees, us, and in short, the organization. We could use AI and not only improve productivity, but be viewed as a better supplier to our customers and a better customer to our suppliers. So I encourage all of you, because you're all young and you must be so much better than the lot of us with AI, because AI belongs to the new generation. The future belongs to the new generation. So I think the use of AI can dramatically change productivity levels. If you all walk out of here today and decide that I want to improve productivity by 10%, this is extremely easily doable just by using AI without capital. If you do that, you improve your competitiveness vis-a-vis your competition, but as a country, you improve the country's competitiveness vis-a-vis India and China, particularly US and China. Particularly China, because they are a very strong competition in manufacturing and as well as services. So that is another thing, productivity and employing AI to do it. Another couple of things that I encourage all MSMEs to do, and then I'll just finish by talking a little about the journey that I've had at Asahi. But another thing that we need to address is quality. Quality is extremely important. When you supply product to within India, you require good quality to beat your competition. But when you go global and you compete with international companies, the level of quality required in exports is of another level. So I would encourage MSMEs to start looking at quality very early. It's a choice. It's not easy, because one, you need to be much more stricter. It costs a little more because your standards are higher. But it is very, very rewarding in the long term, because you then put yourself in a position to get hold of customers who sustain your business and enable it to grow long term. So the second point after using AI for productivity is the importance of quality in small businesses. If you pay attention to quality in the very initial few years of your MSME business, you will see that the second phase, and that's what the transformation theme today has been about, transforming MSMEs to move to another level. So the quality is going to be the pillar to be able to make you jump to another level. Without that, all your hard work and all the skill that you can employ is going to come to naught if you go to international markets. Once you conquer the barrier of quality and establish your brand or your whatever business that you are in, the product as a top quality product in the category, I can tell you for sure from my own experience, you can compete with larger companies based on your quality. So that is number 2. The third is invest in people, good people and a good culture. This is again free. And if you invest, you have good people, honest, trustworthy environment, a safe environment to work in, and you have a collaborative approach to your whole chain, customer, employees, supplier, and stakeholders, shareholders, the whole chain, then business becomes not only a thing that can grow fast, but also can be a very enjoyable process. So that is the third message that I have, that one needs to really invest in creating a good culture whereby employees feel good and they create a environment where it feels like a family, and thus you are able to service your customers to the best level that possibly is there. So today we have Rajiv Gandhi and me both, who have started. Rajiv started his company Hester Biosciences in 1997 as a micro, small, or startup, whatever you call it, but basically absolutely from the start. And you all know where he is today, where Hester is today, and he has bigger dreams. So talking about me, I started Asahi Songwon Colors with my mother as a startup, or again a micro company, in 1994. And this year we'll close at a group turnover of around 1,000 crores, and we have a target of 2,000 crores in 3 years. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is, I started this company with my mother with a capital of 25 lakhs. And GSFC is not the fertilizer company, but there was a government state finance company, GSFC, a loan of 75 lakhs. So total capital of 1 crore in 1994. And we are able to today, this year, come close to, we will be closing around 1,000 crores. So what I'm saying is that if you start small and do diligent work with quality and a culture within the company to be able to do the best work that you can. And then if you integrate AI, which is the tool of today, into improving productivity, you can really up the rate of growth at which you are going. We all need to grow faster. India needs to grow faster, because if we want to actually compete on manufacturing excellence with China, on service excellence with US, we need to really pull up our socks. We are doing a lot, but I think we are not doing enough. We need to do more. And that's why the youth of the country is extremely important. And I think the youth of the country should be encouraged to take a lot of risk. Culturally in India, we have this cultural dogma or a handicap from school, from when we send our children to school, that play safe all the time. Don't do that, don't do this, don't make a mistake. But you cannot grow without making mistakes. So we have to, in our country, inculcate into young students and young entrepreneurs a risk-taking ability. That failure doesn't mean failure. You can, I'll give you a small example, which everybody knows. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world today. SpaceX's company, he sent the first rocket, it failed. Second rocket, it failed. Third rocket failed. Who has the guts to go ahead and launch a fourth rocket? He did. Even the NASA and the government of United States and China cannot do that. A single man showed that he can do it. Today he is leading ahead of the country United States and China in the race to the moon and Mars. So nothing is impossible, but you need to take risk. So culturally we need to inculcate a formula of taking risk within our youth. This is lacking as a country and very less talked about. Due to that, the result is there is very little risk capital coming to India. Most of the risk capital is going to the US, a lot of it is going to China, but risk capital doesn't come to India. For enabling growth on a very sustained basis, if you want to grow as a country at 10% for the next 10 years, that's what we need actually, 7%, and then dwindling to 6 over 5 years is not going to take us, because China and US will keep running ahead because they are enabling themselves to grow faster with AI now. So we need to go at 10% for 10 years. To enable that, we need risk capital. You all need finance to, ignite your business and grow faster. For that, the capital needs you to take risk. So I encourage all of you young people and entrepreneurs to be able to inculcate a culture where people are not afraid. Now coming to the last part of my speech today, sharing my experience at Asahi. So I already said that we were a startup in 94, and now, I founded this company with my mom in 94, and we have come a long way. When I address my people, the one message I invariably take forward to them is, whether it is technicians at the plants or procurement people or engineers or finance people, all of them, I tell them that do not be afraid to make a mistake. Too many people are afraid to make mistakes. And in that, you are not able to, unless you make mistake, you cannot make cutting edge decisions. You cannot make cutting edge progress. To make progress in that manner, you need to work fearlessly. If you do that, you will make some mistakes. But even if you get one or two things out of the line right for the company is going to progress disproportionately, and that's how you have a cutting edge to growth. So at Asahi, we have encouraged this to happen, and we've concentrated on quality. We have followed a very, very simple philosophy. I call it, the 3 T's of Asahi: trust, teamwork, and transparency. So with a culture of these 3 T's and enabling an environment where a customer can trust you for quality, invariably, you will never, ever try and take a customer for a ride. That culture has paid us dividends to the extent that we have a lot of multinationals, huge companies in the world using us as a key supplier for their pigments. So I'll just leave you with that kind of a story. In the end, as I represent FICCI, and there is Rajiv representing AMA today, both these organizations are platforms that you all can use at any time. I think both of us have engagements and we'll have to leave. I'm flying to Bombay later today, so I may not be able to spend time later with you, but I encourage you. We have the FICCI representative here if you want to exchange cards. We do policy work with the government. AMA, of course, does great educational and other work with entrepreneurs, students, and the government. So I would encourage all of you to utilize these platforms, engage with them more, and see if you can benefit from the reach that these platforms have. So with that, I would like to end the speech today. I hope you guys can take away some take-home value out of it and benefit, but my ending message is that to enable India to grow at a rate where we can actually count as absolutely unmistakably strong economy in the world, we need the support of MSMEs to fulfill the dreams of the Prime Minister and Viksit Bharat 1947. Jai Hind, and all the best to you.
Fantastic, Gokul bhai. Fantastic, Gokul bhai. I think while I agree that you may not have been very public in the past, I'm sure you don't have that choice going forward after listening to that speech, because AMA is going to keep calling you again and again. But one loud round of applause for Gokul bhai. The way I think he has spoken about the contributions that MSME in terms of economy, in terms of employment, all of that is being generated, and then moved on to the focus areas, especially quality. We're talking about quality. We have two fantastic engineering companies coming up next with Amoli and Pilak bhai on the dais. They'll talk a lot about quality, I'm sure. And then you talk about AI. Very happy to share that, as we adopt AI, it's part of AMA's mission as well. Gokul bhai, and for the benefit of the audience, we must have trained nothing less than 1,500 people already on artificial intelligence. So 1,500 champions out there calling themselves trained in AI for office productivity. So AMA, of course, is doing its bit, but of course, there's no choice. There's a saying that if you don't do AI, AI will do you for sure. So I think we have to take that pretty seriously. And then finally, you've touched upon two more important points, that we have to provide the right culture to the employees and the right culture at home also. to allow children to take the risk that they should be taking. Because I remember for sure our Indian parents, the only time they said shabash was when you broke a crockery set. So I mean, we need to come back from that era to be able to allow them to take more failure. But yeah, thank you so much for that wonderful inaugural session. Rajiv bhai, Jaimin bhai, Gokul bhai, thank you so much. We'll move on to our next panel discussion, and I'm sure we have our guests ready there as well. Unmesh bhai, should we? Perfect. We'll request you a quick photograph of all three. Ajay bhai will take a quick picture. And yes, please. Thank you once again. Gokul bhai will let you go, but certainly with a promise to have you back soon on the campus. Thank you, Rajiv bhai, President sir. Sure, please. And thank you, Jaimin bhai, for all the efforts. Uh, Friends, we move on to the panel discussion. We have with us a very interesting panel. I'm saying interesting not just for the sake of it, but because we have entrepreneurs, we have people from the government, and in Chandramauli, sir, we have an interesting moderator as well. I'll quickly take this opportunity to introduce all our speakers to you. The first gentleman being Mr. Manoj Kumar Vats. Manoj ji is sitting on my extreme left there, and he's an officer of Indian Enterprise Development Service, IEDS as it is known as, currently serving as the director at MSME DFO Ahmedabad, and he's a postgraduate in chemistry and financial management with previously having had experience, or rather postings in MSME Training Center in Mumbai and key positions in the Ministry of MSME in New Delhi. Originally from Delhi, he brings significant administrative and technical expertise to MSME development and support mechanisms. Thank you so much, Manoj ji. I think it's only 5 years, rather 5 months in Gujarat, but Jaimin bhai is making sure you learn about Gujaratis very quickly. But thank you so much. May I request Samir sir, if you can please come forward to felicitate Manoj Kumar Vats. Welcome, sir. That's Mr. Samir Shah, welcoming Mr. Manoj Kumar Vats. Our next speaker in the panel, rather our panelist, is Mr. Tejas Mehta. He is an engineer from University of Mumbai and MBA from the Gujarat University with over 17 years of experience in private sector. He is now serving as the Assistant Commissioner in the Industries and Mines Department. Tejas bhai, thank you so much for agreeing. I'll request Prashant Gandhi sir to please come forward and do the honors of felicitating Tejas bhai. Up next is Mr. Pilak Shah. He holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Gujarat University and further holds a master's in integrated manufacturing systems engineering from North Carolina University, State of University rather. Thereafter, he joined the company Harsha Engineering in 2006 and as a manager for resource management, and is currently now the whole-time director and chief operating officer of the company with over 20 years of experience in precision engineering and auto component manufacturing sector. Pilak bhai, thank you so much. In fact, one phone call to him is a good friend and he said, I'll be there. Thank you for accepting the invitation. I'll request Ambar bhai, if you can please come forward to welcome Pilak bhai. Next, we have Ms. Amoli Shah, who is a second generation entrepreneur and director of Prashant Group of Companies, a leading Indian manufacturer of textile weaving preparatory machine with global presence in over 55 countries. A mechanical engineer with dual master's degrees in information technology and international business from United States. She joined the group in 2003 and after nearly 8 years of study and work abroad. Under the leadership, the company has grown significantly, earning recognition for innovation, sustainable technology, and quality, along with prestigious awards such as Business Women of the Year in Women Leadership category. And she's also engaged actively in social initiatives supporting education and tribal upliftment. I'll request Divyesh, if you can please come forward to welcome Ms. Amoli Shah. Chandramauli sir, one question you have to ask on behalf of all the young people sitting out there to Amoli is for sure that what brought her back to India? Because I'm sure there are young people who are gearing up for some exposure outside. In fact, rather to Pilak bhai as well, because both of them have had the exposure of studying abroad. So what brought them back to this hard life of manufacturing and factory? And finally, the moderator of the evening, Mr. Chandramauli Pathak. He's a veteran entrepreneur and an MSME expert with over 40 years of experience in grassroots with more than 20 plus countries. He has empowered over 1 lakh entrepreneurs and has had partnerships with SIDBI, NABARD, ILO, UNDP, among many others. An advisor and visiting faculty at IIM Ahmedabad and EDI. He specializes in MSME performance improvement, incubation, and startup mentoring. Thank you so much, Jaimin, Vasa sir. May I please request you to welcome Chandramauli Pathak sir as our moderator. Wonderful. Sir, that's okay.
I'm very happy to felicitate my friend and the permanent compeer and moderator and the expert in Visa, Jainil.
No, I think એટલે જયમીનભાઈના જેટલા બી કાર્યક્રમમાં જઈએ એક વાક્ય ચોક્કસ I mean બધા કહેતા હોય કે જયમીનભાઈ ના કેવી રીતે પડાય and I think I am also falling in that trap એટલે but that's okay. Anyways, Pathak Sahib, over to you, please.
Working? Okay. Thank you, Jainil. Wonderful initiation. I think with a lot of foundation set up by Jaimin bhai and Gokul bhai. We have a lot many things, and we are going to hear from the horse's mouth and the support agencies both. I would like to say that SMEs are high on ambition, but limited by resources. And in the era of T20 cricket, I think many times we complain the ground, but ultimately the players have to do well. And we have a lot of entrepreneurs and players here. And it's not only players, but the whole MSME as such will have to perform well to bring our economy up. So they are the people who are contributing to them, the supporter and the as well. And I have a pleasure. Thank you, Jaimin bhai, for providing me this opportunity. We have about 90 minutes of time. So how do we utilize? I think if I calculate, each one of you will get 15 to 20 minutes. So difficult to give away experiences in 15-20 minutes, but I think somebody from IIM had said very well that if you can speak, you can easily speak for 1 hour, but if you speak for 10 minutes, you give your best. So I'm expecting this from all of you. Thank you. So I think what we'll do is we'll have a 1 round of question to all of you and then come back to individuals. And since Ramoli is here, I think like Jainil said, let us hear from her about the story. First 2 questions to all entrepreneurs. Tell us something about your journey, what has brought you back. And about the growth is concerned, what do you consider growth actually? That is what we would like to know.
Okay. See, we came back in 2003, basically. At that time, probably US was in much better shape. India was growing. So everybody told us that probably you are making a mistake. At that time, my word was like, after 15 years, we don't know whether people are coming from here or going from there. So I think today, probably I'm happy that many people are thinking who are in USA to come back. But that is one thing. Main thing was कि जो भी करना है अपने देश के लिए करना है and give your best to your country rather than working for someone. That was the main reason. Actually, I was working in IT field at that time, and IT was like after 2000, it was a Y2K, it was a buzzword. So I realized one thing that, and most of the people in IT were either Indian or Chinese. There were not any Americans. So I realized one thing, that our Indian engineers are extremely talented. And I mean, as we know that in Microsoft or Google, Sundar Pichai, everybody is Indian. And if we provide proper infrastructure in India, then they can create wonders. And this is what we have seen in our factory also, because my father, who is the first engineer, his vision was always to provide world-class product at appropriate price. And he always told us that if you provide good infrastructure, good family-like environment, good opportunity, then people can create wonders. So I think that is the reason we have come back and contribute.
Thank you. It's a wonderful welcome to India, and we look forward to have a lot of contribution and passing on your experiences and motivation to others. Yes, Pilak bhai, how about you?
So my answer would be Shri Narendra Bhai Modi. In 2004, when I was studying there, I had an opportunity to meet him when he was serving as a chief minister. And he asked me, "શું કરે છે?" I told him, I'm doing masters. Okay, that's okay, but ભણવાનું પતી જાય પછી પાછા આવી જવાનું ને? And I don't think I had an option to say no to. Maybe 1 or 2 years after, my coming back, I think my father met him. And he also had a follow-up. કે પેલા આવી ગયો છે બરાબર? કામ કરે છે બરાબર? Okay, then it is okay. So my simplest answer would be Narendra Bhai Modi.
Wonderful. Well, I think there are always some motivators behind you, but your internal motivation actually brought you back, and we are very happy that you are performing well. Coming to our support agencies, and without them, perhaps it may not be possible for all of us, though there are a lot of challenges in policy. But looking to the present scenario, how do you see the growth and policy gap, what is happening in India?
So I'll answer, then sir can continue. See, what you ask is like, what is the challenge between what is required and what is there, right? If I put in the simple way, like a business, government is also evolving and improving its policies, right? So from years this is happening, but for last few years, especially when our vision is on Viksit Bharat 2047, so it is not like we are going to stick to just few policies for long time. If you follow, I'm sure you would be following various news, government has removed many sanctions, many laws which were irrelevant over the time, right? So yeah, there will be always expectations from industry, there will be always expectations from individuals, there will be always expectations from institutes. And government every time tries to address all the expectations, but yes, at the same time, all expectations cannot be fulfilled at the given time, immediately. But yes, this is not, we are not stuck, we are not I'll say government is flexible to adopt and to change. So yes, there may be few challenges, there may be, yesterday only I was reading in one of the newspaper, I don't remember, so like there was an internet, when internet started, when .com came into the picture, so it was written like India would have missed the bus at that time, but for AI, India is not going to miss that bus. And we know like AI summit is happening in Delhi right now. And this is what government is changing, and this is what government is adopting to what is required for current phase as well as for the future.
Thank you. I think we're happy to know that dynamism and government is also becoming entrepreneurial now, changing over. मनोज कुमार जी, आप बम्बई और गुजरात से आए हो और काफ़ी इंडस्ट्री के साथ आपका अनुभव रहा है, तो ये ग्रोथ के बारे में गवर्नमेंट का व्यूज़ क्या है, एंड हाउ डू यू रियली प्रमोट ग्रोथ फ्रॉम योर साइड?
Thank you, Pathak sir. Actually, if we see, everybody is agree that we are growing at the rate of around 50%. Means contribution in the export is around 50%. And if you see globally also, MSMEs are the engine. They are the means they are the basically front runners, and they adopt the technologies and the product fast rather than the larger companies. Now comes to the challenges. The biggest challenge was what we perceived was the capital. Our cost of capital was too high. Now I am happy to share that Government of India is working on a policy where we are contemplating to some interest subvention or something like that, where we can reduce your interest burden. Second was the land. That means the cost of land was quite high, and that capital required, the intensive capital was required. Now if you have seen that today newspaper Economic Times, so you must have read there is a deregulation drive is going on. And again, I am proud to be the member of that deregulation committee for the Gujarat and the UT Vasa. And very soon, by next month or so, you will see many of the reforms, like unbelievable change of land use, that will be go away. There will be no NA and all that conversion. And many of the permissions, many of that will be on the self-certification basis. So we are working on that also. Now, the third one was the marketing side. The MSMEs face biggest challenge on the marketing, because now the technology is available, but the biggest problem is how to market their product. So we have launched one scheme, PMS. Out of that scheme, we have in last year alone, we have disbursed over 100 crore rupees in Gujarat itself, where we have reimbursement. We are giving the reimbursement for the participating exhibitions in India as well as then abroad. So we are encouraging MSMEs on that way also. I'll come to the few schemes later on.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I understand there is many schemes among the government, so we'll come to the specific thing. I think next question, looking to the theme is, I think they talk of local to vocal and local to global. So first, I think common question for all of you, how do you see these from the entrepreneurial viewpoint and from the government viewpoint? So we can start with Amoli.
See, we are in global world right now, and locally we have to be so strong that you can compete globally. As I mentioned that we are exporting to 55 countries. So that is something to reach to that level. Your product has to be of international class. There is no doubt about it. You have to, product has to, quality has to be good, performance has to be there, but you have to pay a lot of attention on aesthetics, your packaging, your marketing, and if you want to compete globally, there are many other things. I'll I'll come how to success globally, but price performance ratio also plays a major role. And if today we see like China, 20 years back, people were saying that chale to chand tak nahi varna raat tak, but that's not the case anymore. I think they are extremely doing good job. Everybody here, Pilak, we also must be feeling that we all are facing Chinese competition. So it's very important that we take advantage of economies of scale. We do certain steps and we compete globally.
Thank you. I think it is important to know from you also how it is happening with yourself and industry.
So, see, I think, if you look at last 20, 30 years, the markets have come closer to each other. So sure. So, I think આજની તારીખમાં it is much easier to do exports than how it was maybe 20, 30 years before, right? And as Amoli Ben also said, કે ખરેખરમાં if you make a product with good quality, if it is suitable for the global market, it will always be suitable for Indian market. So at least I feel that every one of us, should have an ambition to make our product globally acceptable. Then locally it will be acceptable without any question mark, right? So I think, from my point of view, the global ambition has to be there so that we are not only producing in India for India, we are producing in India for the world. When we want to produce for the world, we need to understand their needs and expectations, their quality standards, and we need to align to their quality standards. And if you are able to supply anywhere in the world, then Indian market is always available for you. That's what I think.
True. And from the supporters and BTS government side, how do you see local to vocal, local to global?
See, from local market to global market, I'll just give you two things. One example and one how government is helping or how government is contributing to this. One thing is like, while the initial address, it was mentioned like AMS started giving Matani Pachedi for the facilitation, right? So how many of you know about Matani Pachedi? Except this AMA guys, I mean, they must be knowing, but apart from that, see, Matani Pachedi, this is like a handicraft product, speciality from Ahmedabad. So there is a Chitara community in Ahmedabad, right? If you go there, you would feel like the way they work, kind of environment where they work, their working environment and everything, we may feel like where their products would be going and what would be the price of their product. So Matani Pachedi is like they do kind of, I'll not say directly block printing, but kind of a printing work. There is a natural color to that, which even they make the color and then they put the design. And it's like Pachedi. So if people like, Pachedi is like we put it on shoulders. Khambe rakhwanu je hoy, that is known as Pachedi. But these are not like kind of big shawls only. They are like kind of a small showpieces as well. And you won't believe, cost of one Matani Pachedi would start roughly somewhere around starting from 15,000, 20,000 rupee. It's not like a piece of kind of cloth which you can get in like 100 rupee, 200. It's like, and they've got kind of Padma Shri awards, and they are very well accepted in foreign markets, right? So people who are interested in this kind of art, who are interested in this kind of handicrafts, they do travel to these places where if we don't know, if we don't value that creativity, that art, then we may not prefer to go in that kind of work environment. But this is what is about the product. If your product is there, then your business place, your manufacturing place, that doesn't matter. The matter is what is the product, how much that is acceptable and how much that is valuable, right? So this is like, this was discussed earlier, so I gave you about Matani Pachedi. But apart from that, if we talk about government side, government is providing many schemes, different subsidies for quality certifications, right? So for foreign market, one is quality, another is kind of usability as well. So for quality, if there is, let's say, ISO certificate is there, or some different, let's say, FDA certificate is there, or some or other kind of certificates which are mandatory, because like you would be knowing, people who are doing exports, you might be knowing, or you must be knowing, for certain countries, certain certificates are must, right? If you don't have those kind of certificates, then you cannot export in that particular country. And if you have that kind of certificate, then like your 60-70% job is done. Then there is like, the competition is always there, but then that part is taken care, like your product is accepted, right? So for that, government is providing various subsidies for the amount you spend to get the certificates. So government has kind of Gujarat, I'll talk about Gujarat government. So Atmanirbhar Gujarat scheme is there. We are expecting that revision of the scheme shortly. So under that scheme, for quality certification, there is subsidy. Even for technology acquisition. So if you are acquiring certain technologies from foreign country, then on that part as well, there is certain portion of subsidy is provided, so that your overall cost for obtaining that certificate or for that quality reduces, and you can readily use that particular technology for enhancing your product and supply to the global market.
Yes. Sir, Manoj Kumar ji.
Thank you, sir. In fact, as Tejas ji very correctly told, we are also evolving. I'll tell you one example. In last 4 years, we were implementing the QCOs, quality control orders, where we were restricting the imports. In last 4 months, we are withdrawing the QCOs. Okay. 2 months back, we have withdrawn several polyester and all that. Why we are doing all this? Because we are hearing you, we are listening, we are just taking the feedback from the associations, and we are very happy because the associations, particularly in Gujarat, are very active. We are thankful to Gandhi ji, Jaimin Sahab to apne aap mein khair ek institutes hain. So means now the government is also very responsive. Now comes to the vocal for local. I'll tell you, in last year, and in 24-25, PSUs alone, PSUs, I am talking about the public sector undertakings and Government of India, they have procured 1 lakh crore worth of goods and supplies from MSMEs. Not only MSME, in fact, it is MSEs, micro and small enterprises. This is a huge amount. And we are having some, means the quota. Why it's happened? In 2012, we bring a scheme for public procurement policy, where the 25% of the goods and services has to procure from the MSEs. Everybody was saying it is impossible, they are not able to do defense, sir, joote kharab ho jayenge, kaise chalenge? And then oil major were saying, sir, we are procuring the oil, the MSEs cannot provide us the oil, but at least service can they provide. So today, in this year, we are procuring 48%. 48% of the total procurement of the PSU is supplied by the MSCs. Then again, we were having the quota of 4% for SC/ST. Everybody was saying it is impossible to do that. But last year, around 2%, means it is far from 4 in fact, but 2% the goods are procured from the MSM, from the SC/ST. और हमारी जो लेडीज जो एंटरप्रेनर हैं जो हमारी मतलब वो for them we have reserved 3%. Till last year they were supplying around 2.5, 2.6, but this year they have also surpassed the target. Now they are also supplying 3%. We have fulfilled the quota. So if MSMEs just concentrate on some of the alternative marketing venues like defense sector. If you see the defense sector is opening up and we are procuring a huge amount of material and the equipments from the MSMEs. I'll tell you that वो कहते हैं आपदा में अवसर. Ukraine and Russia war. Then Ukraine was not having such a high-end planes and all that. So they start manufacturing the drones. Now, Ukrainians are the cheapest manufacturer of drones worldwide. See, this is the thing. Means now for the MSMEs, this is the opportunity. They can procure the technology from Ukraine. They are the supplier of the cheapest drones. After the war, they will be having the huge, and then all are manufactured in the MSMEs only. They have given some soaps to the MSMEs. If they produce, we will not take any tax. If you want any technology from anywhere, we will provide you the technology and like something. And one more thing I would like to share. Now, if you are supplying something to the government, you can take the benefit of trades. Means immediately you can take the, you will get the money and you can use it for that, for the procuring the raw material and everything. Means you need not to wait for the 40 days or 45 days. You can get it immediately after supplying. Once we got there are 3 exchanges right now working. And for if the procurement, if you are supplying it to even the private company, it is having the turnover of some around 200 or 250 crore. They have to go on the trades. It is a compulsory now. From in this budget, we make it compulsory. Means if a large industry is procuring from the MSME, they have to come on the trades. It is compulsory. Earlier it was mandatory for the MSME, for the PSUs. Now from this year, we have make it compulsory for the large industries also.
Thank you. आई थिंक MSME में तो मुश्किल ये है कि डेफिनेशन इन्वेस्टमेंट वाइज होगा, लेकिन समटाइम इट्स अ वन मैन शो. सो नाउ आई थिंक इट्स ऑल्सो चेंजिंग क्या हो रहा है. तो द चैलेंजेस इन द प्रेजेंट एरा, द सस्टेनेबिलिटी चैलेंज, टेक्नोलॉजी, क्वालिटी, digitalization. So how do you see technology innovation in your business and how you have adopted it and what challenges you faced? And then we'll come to the policy, what kind of schemes they have to promote innovation and technology.
See, as far as technology is concerned, it is extremely important that we have to be innovative. Because, see, now we are in a world, like we are not 20 years back, there was a situation that if you make some good product, it will just work like that. But now there are so much competition. Every day we are evolving. So we have to evolve with the world, we have to evolve with the product. Innovation is very, very important. And it's time that we have to invest in R&D. It's not investment, but it's profit is byproduct. So what you involve in R&D, because in our company, this is how we make the differentiation. We have our product, it's like, you know, our product is, we are in machinery manufacturing and it's a capital machinery, high value, customized product. So what we do is like, it has to be different because otherwise you will face the competition. You must have heard about this blue ocean strategy where the competition is irrelevant. How do you make it? So we have the product where the automation is very much important. Suppose I give you one example. We make the machine which make the fabric, which help in making the fabric. So typical textile process has a loom and then the warp and weft. So we make the machine which called the weaving preparatory machinery. Now typical process like typical machinery can make one warp beam in like let's say 5-hour time, 6-hour time, depend on the programs. So we have make the machine which can reduce your, which can give you almost double productivity with half the labor, 30% less space and 30% less inventory. So this is where you are different than others. And then there is no competition. So basically innovation is very much required nowadays, and in today's world it is a very, very important thing.
Very true. It is said that if you don't innovate, then you die. So, but I think the SMEs are still shying away from innovation. So I would like to know what is your view on this?
Sure. So I think maybe I'll talk about 3 or 4 points that you mentioned. First is, you know, when you are small, maybe you are at the center of the entire operations. You know, you are doing everything, you are running everything. And that kind of at times becomes a biggest restrictive factor to the growth also. So, say to give you an example, I think in our organization there is always a focus on giving training to everybody, and again that includes us also. So to give you an example, in 2018 we went through an LDP program. And again, we were also one of the team members along with all our management team. And the kind of interaction that happens where you are sharing your vision, you are understanding their challenges, and there's a constant back and forth interaction, that really helps in creating a stronger second layer. Who will replace you? Who will do most of the activities? Who will own up the way you want them to own up? So I think this was your first point. And again, to give you an example, many a times, in a smaller organization, the mindset is that, if I train somebody and if they leave, what happens? And you need to think this way, that if you don't train somebody and they don't leave, what happens? Where is the bigger consequence, Second, to talk about, innovation and automation. So again, the larger mindset exists that, we are in India, the labor cost is low. Why do we need to automate when you can hire few more people? And there are people who believe that you are doing a justice by hiring more, you are giving more employment to people. But at the same time, if you really want to compete in the global stage, if you want to have a consistent product, if you want to have the best productivity, then there is no option but to automate. And again, many a times automation also is considered to be a very complicated process. But actually, if you think of it, it is not. Now there are a lot of ready-made platforms available, lot of controllers available, lot of special purpose machines available, which can really help you to automate your process, which can create a very high degree of reliability into your process, and they can really put you, on the global scale.
Very true, very true. I think you touch upon a very interesting part કે ગ્રોથ કરવા માટે અપગ્રેડેશન નહીં થાય સ્કિલનું અને નવી વસ્તુનું તો growth અને problem થશે. So from the innovation and digitalization side, how the government is helping or what specific schemes you have. So I would like you to talk about only specific schemes of this.
See, as I mentioned earlier, government has certain, under Atmanirbhar Gujarat scheme, there is a provision that if you go for technology upgradation or technology acquisition, or even for, let's say, ERP system installation, right? So for all this kind of technology related work, government is going to give you certain percentage of subsidy, right? So that is available. So you just need to select the technology, apply for that particular acquisition cost, or kind of ERP, if there is ERP system, then what is the cost of that particular thing, and on that particular cost, government is going to give you subsidy. That is one. Another is like state government has a specific department, entire department is there, Department of Science and Technology. We call it DST. So DST is taking care of various schemes specifically for the IT sector. I won't say just IT sector, but the technology sector, I'll say. So for technology sectors, government has various schemes under which government provides capital subsidy as well as interest subsidy for all the cost which has been incurred by taking the loan. So there is you need to take a loan, and there are government has defined a portion of subsidy percentage wise slab, and you get the subsidy on that. Lastly, state government is doing collaboration with various tech giants like IBM. If you see Gift City, government has done collaboration with companies like IBM to procure the certain technologies. Even government is doing partnership with leading institutes. Like IIM Ahmedabad has been partnered as kind of we can say kind of consulting or kind of path showing in the innovation phase. So government is not just providing subsidies for your business, but it's also creating entire environment, so entire ecosystem gets benefit from the technology, and whatever project has been planned or whatever project has been announced, that gets delivered within the time frame.
और कोई इनोवेशन में सर आप बताना चाहेंगे तो?
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. ऐसे तो as you are aware, the industry is the state subject. But central government is also providing a ecosystem for the innovation. Right from the means if you are having something in your idea and you want to manufacture one prototype, so where will you go? You don't have the die, you don't have anything, you don't have that sophisticated machines. So we are having some tool rooms. One of the tool room is in Ahmedabad also, where you can go and you can you just tell them, they will prepare according to you, because suppose that the Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, they are using some of the component, and the components are cannot be manufactured by the die, because they are the unique products and it is a one-off. So we are manufacturing many of the products for the Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan and all that. So you people can also go there. We are having the prototype development center, where you can go and they will manufacture one product as per your thought, whatever you are having in mind. Next, if this is successful and you want to protect your intellectual property, so we are having almost in all major universities, we are having the IPFC, Intellectual Property Facilitation Center, where we are sanctioning 1 crore rupees for IPFC, including that all the infrastructure and that support and for the training and everything. Apart from that, we are having if you are having some IPR and you want to GI or you want to export something, so we are having the financial reimbursement for that schemes also. Last week, we have invited the hackathon. Means yearly we are organizing one hackathon. In a hackathon, we are inviting the ideas from the backbencher जो है जो पीछे बैठे इनसे. So we are inviting the students, and through the host institutes, means that the engineering institutes or something, if they are having any idea and they have just something in their mind, so they can give us. For last year, we got around 50,000 ideas. Out of them, we have shortlisted 823 for the Gujarat. The total we have shortlisted around 10,000 or so. The 823 or something was for the Gujarat. So we have shortlisted out of the 823, and some of them will get finance of up to 15 lakh through the host institutes. Means we are not only having the prototype, we are having that before that also. Now, if you have manufactured everything सब कुछ हो गया, now you want to get it started commercial. So first of all, you people have to come to us for Udyam registration. So it is free of cost. Online you can do it yourself. If you are having any problem, so we are having the UAP, means assisted also, means if you don't have some of the data, if you have any problem, so you can walk to either to our office or the DIC, they will help. Now, as the technology is concerned, suppose you are having a machine, or it is giving some pollution or something like that, and if you want to change the technology, if you want to change the machine, so we are having one scheme of JED, zero effect, zero defect. So if you want to adopt that technology, so we will finance you the cost of the machine, and including the cost of the consultant also. Means the person who will guide you, so we will finance his fees also. So this is in a short, we are having many more things, but the time will be short.
Yes.
We are having the testing facilities also and many things.
जी आई थिंक आपने बताया थैले में बहुत है, लेकिन कितना सारा देना अभी टाइम नहीं है. I think it's good to know there are many schemes, but I don't know how many of you are really aware and take advantage of it. So this is the platform where I think you should connect with them and take advantage. I think looking to our theme of sustainability, I'll come down to the sustainability. Sustainability is now defined as people, planet and profit. અને હર્ષા એન્જિનિયરિંગમાં તો સાહેબ સોશિયલી કન્સર્ન અને તમે ઘણું બધું કરો છો રાજેશભાઈ, તો મને ખ્યાલ છે, આઈ નો અબાઉટ ઇટ. સો લેટ અસ ટોક અબાઉટ ધી સસ્ટેનેબિલિટી. અને અત્યારના સંજોગોમાં એટલી બધી કોમ્પિટિટિવ આ જીઓપોલિટિકલ સિચ્યુએશન છે, જ્યાં જીવતા રહેવાનું મુશ્કેલ છે, ત્યાં ગ્રોથની ને સસ્ટેનેબિલિટી વાત કરીએ કેટલી યોગ્ય લાગે છે, અને એના માટે શું કરવું જોઈએ?
Sustainability, as you said, કે બહુ જ important વસ્તુ છે. See, there are two things. Today, many brands ask for sustainable product. So that is one aspect of it. But second aspect is our human values. As a human, it's our moral responsibility to produce the sustainable product in sustainable way, because we are utilizing so many resources. So to reduce the carbon footprint is our responsibility. It's our moral responsibility. We are in textile machinery. So typical textile, like you all are wearing denim. So probably you don't know that to make the denim fabric, denim dyeing, what is the process? There is like, it's a white fabric and you need to immerse it in indigo. And there are like 8 different dye boxes. So you just immerse the fabric in it, then you take it out, you do it again. So it uses so much chemical and then you need to wash it. So it uses lot of water also. So, we have developed one machine which with special technology, we call it nitrogen technology. So this entire process, instead of 8 tanks, we are doing it in 3 tanks with nitrogen environment,
Very good.
which saves the chemical by 15%. Now, Jaimin bhai is in chemical business. He must be knowing that because this machine works 24/7, so 15% chemical saving in one set, that is a tremendous cost saving. It saves water by 50%. There are many other benefits, but so I think it's our moral responsibility to provide such product, innovate in these kind of product, and use this kind of product. And I think this is all I can say.
બહુ સાચી વાત કીધી. I think it is required the mindset and consciousness of doing it. So ખરેખર બધી ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી કરે, આપ શું કરો છો જરા કહેશો?
Just sidetrack of this, અમારે એક એક્ઝામ્પલ આવે છે. અમારા એક ફ્રેન્ડ હતા અને એની ડોટરના મેરેજ હતા. સો હી સેડ કે કેટલા બધા લોકો યુએસથી આવશે મેરેજ માટે અને કાર્બન એમિશન જનરેટ થશે. સો ટુ કોમ્પેન્સેટ, I think એમણે પર પર્સન અમુક નંબર ઓફ ટ્રીઝ પ્લાન્ટ કર્યા, just to make sure that there is a zero carbon emission by this function.
થેન્ક યુ. પલકભાઈ, તમારો તો ઘણું બધું.
So, see, I think sustainability ના ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ માટે કોઈ એમાં ક્વેશ્ચન માર્ક છે જ નહીં. ગ્લોબલ વોર્મિંગ અને એની ઇફેક્ટ આપણે જોઈ જ રહ્યા છે. And I just take example of Ahmedabad itself, how weather is changing, how we are seeing unseasonal rains, how we are seeing extreme weathers and so on. So there is no need to, it is not difficult to convince anybody why sustainability is important, right? Now the second question is how to become sustainable, how to go after it in a meaningful way, right? So there also, first thing I believe, कि અત્યારે જે latest approach છે, જે ઘણો ખરો સ્ટાન્ડર્ડાઇઝ છે અક્રોસ ધ વર્લ્ડ, વિચ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ હેલ્પ્સ ઇન ઇવેલ્યુએટિંગ વોટ સમબડી ઇઝ ડુઈંગ સિટિંગ એનીવેર ઇન ધ વર્લ્ડ, રાઈટ? સો એ રેફરન્સમાં વી ઓલ્સો કુડ સી કે ઇવન વિથ અવર કસ્ટમર્સ ધ ફોકસ ઓન સસ્ટેનેબિલિટી હેઝ ઇન્ક્રીઝ ડ્રાસ્ટિકલી. અને વી ઓલ્સો સ્ટાર્ટેડ વર્કિંગ ઓન ઇટ ઇન લાસ્ટ 5 years. વી ઓલ્સો ક્રિએટેડ our own roadmap towards sustainability. અને ટુ ગીવ યુ એન એક્ઝામ્પલ કે અમે અત્યારથી જ ફોર નેક્સ્ટ 5 years and 10 years how we will increase the use of renewable energy, how we will have zero discharge, એના કમિટમેન્ટ્સ કસ્ટમર્સને ઓલરેડી આપી દીધા છે. અને ઇવન ટુડે when we quote a new product, along with the quotation we have to put the carbon emission from it, and again today our ability to win the business is not on the basis of our cost, but it is also on the basis of whether we are competitive in terms of the technology that we use that generates the carbon or not. Secondly, I think if we think about Indian culture, I feel that sustainability was ingrained in our nature. And maybe as we westernized ourselves more and more in past few decades, we became less sustainable. So in that reference, I feel that even if we go back to our roots, even if we start following the practices that was followed in the earlier generation, we will become resource conscious automatically. And we don't really need to do anything magically or drastically different. And one thing we must believe, that sustainability is not going to cost more.
Oh,
It will, at the end of the day, will reduce cost, will not increase cost.
Correct.
And again, we have seen a lot of examples of it. I'll not go into the details of it right now.
Right. Good.
But believe me, that sustainability will not increase cost. It will reduce cost.
Thank you. I think, thank you. We have now little time limitation. We like to open it to also the public for question, but we'd like to hear quickly from our support agencies. How are these all sustainability compliances issue being enforced and ensured that industries are doing it?
See, કોઈ પણ વસ્તુ કરવી હોય, then there are two ways. One is with the help of law, right? તમે કાયદો બનાવો. Another is like by giving the motivation, right? So government is doing both. Let's say there is GPCB, Gujarat Pollution Control Board, right? So there are certain norms which have been set for each and every industry which they need to follow. Otherwise, there are certain sections which are defined under the law which that unit has to face. So that is with the help of law. But every time, it is not like you are just violating the law, then only you need to change the technology, or you then only you need to go for renewable energies as well, right? So for that, there is motivation, right? So that motivation comes, so under state government scheme, there are certain categories which are defined, right? So like if you want to invest in certain technologies which will help in saving, let's say, water, right? પાણીનો જ્યાં બચાવ થાય, if you are going to have that kind of technology, then for that kind of technology acquisition, government is going to provide you certain portion of subsidies, so that your overall cost, so as Pilak bhai said, like it's always going to cost you less over a period of time. But government ensures, like right from the day one, you get certain incentive, so you start investing into that, right? So that is one thing, like government always provides certain subsidy portion, so that that kind of technology acquisition that gets, and we see there is Solar Ghar Yojana. So even not just for industry, but for individual as well, there is Solar Ghar Yojana. And what government is thinking, you must have seen there are a lot of homes which are made by government. So government lokone at subsidized rate or at no rate they would be providing. So now government is thinking ke ghar tame jare banaine apo, along with that you provide solar panel as well, so that we just don't talk about renewable energy, but we motivate industries and individuals to adapt that, so over a longer period, because like at final stage, government is held responsible if there is pollution, right?
Thank
and that is true. Government needs to take care by two ways, as I mentioned, either by law or by with the help of motivation.
It's a very well said
and
things,
it's doing like
sir.
that.
आपको मैं अलग तरीके से पूछना चाहूँगा, is the government role of a policing and auditor, or is a facilitator role? So how do you see your role in compliance and sustainability?
सबसे पहले तो मैं अमोली बहन को बोलूँगा, मैडम जो भी आपकी मशीन खरीदे उसे फाइनेंस हम भी कराएंगे.
Very good.
So if we are selling your machine to MSMEs, please use the JED scheme. In JED scheme, we are giving the reimbursement up to 5 lakh rupees, and it will be through a third party. You need not to go anywhere. You can apply online, and it will be the assessment will also be remote. Now, second thing, in JED, we are also giving you the certification. And the certification, the first certification, the basic is the bronze. The bronze certification cost is 10,000 rupees. But if you just sign a pledge, we will give you the voucher of 10,000 rupees, so which you can utilize it for that payment. Means the bronze is free of cost. So the second is the silver, and third is the gold. For the gold also, we are giving up to 80% reimbursement. But for if women entrepreneurs there, it is free of cost. We are bearing 100% of cost. Now third thing, apart from the government, it is the responsibility of the industry, because the sustainability is something. Because first we are the human beings. सबसे पहले आदमी है, तो हमारी भी enterprises की industries की भी कुछ responsibilities हैं. Although in the deregulation 2.0, we are making such type of mechanism where the white and green two certification will be on the self-certification base. Means you need not to apply, you just have to certify. For the orange and red, we are also framing some timeline. Within a month or so, it will be, you will get that certificate. But for the green and orange, it is making self-certification very soon. It means by the March or the so. But again, it is a responsibility of everybody, including the government, everything. Now comes to the point whether we are the facilitator or, sir, we are both. Earlier, the name of our institute was MSME Development Institute. 3 years back, we changed our name and become MSME Development and Facilitation Office.
Right.
So that we can give a impact, we are a facilitator, we are not an inspector. The government don't want to be the inspector anymore. We are the facilitator, we are the one among you, we just want to facilitate because after all, you people are creating the wealth to the nation. I would like to give you one very unique number. You know, when we used to read, everybody was saying, Bharat ek krishi pradhan desh hai. Everybody was aware. But now, if you see in what's happening in the world, if you see in the Asia, in our neighboring country, around 30% population is dependent on the agriculture, whether it is in the form of fisheries or the agriculture products. Or in India, still 43% of population is dependent on the agriculture. More than us in entire world is the Africa, which is 50% dependent. Now, you can read it on both sides. Glass आधा भरा है या आधा खाली है. What we are seeing, you are having so many resources at your hand. आपके पास बहुत सारी labor है जिसे आप काम दे सकते हो. Because these 43% people are unemployed. They are hidden unemployed. So you people can utilize them for the industry, for manufacturing. If you want India to make a manufacturing hub, you have to have the resource. And the most important resource is the manpower.
Thank you.
Take it in that way.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, now we'll, just a minute, we'll open it to question, but I have, મને એમ લાગે છે કે આપણે ઘણી ઘણી સારી વાતો કરી, થોડીક મારે ડાર્ક સાઇડ ઓફ એફએમઈની એક મિનિટમાં વાત કરવી છે. તો હું પહેલાં એન્ટરપ્રને પૂછીશ અને 30 સેકન્ડમાં જ આપણે જવાબ જોઈએ છે કે વોટ ઇઝ ધ વીકેસ્ટ લિંક ઇન એમએસએમઈ ટુ રિયલી ગ્રો, અથવા ડાર્ક સાઇડ શું છે એમએસએમઈની?
I think access to finance, I would say one.
So મારો વ્યૂ હશે માઇન્ડસેટ, અને એમાં પણ ખાસ કરીને કહીશ કેપેસિટીને લઈને. મેની અ ટાઈમ્સ એમએસએમઈ એક્સપેક્ટ્સ કે મને ફર્મ બિઝનેસ મળે તો હું કેપેસિટી નાખું, અને દેટ ઇઝ સમથિંગ દેટ વી નીડ ટુ ચેન્જ.
Thank you. And for policy makers, I have a question that which area you think need to restructure or do little more in policy making for growth and resilience? क्या कौन सा एरिया आप इम्प्रूव करना चाहेंगे?
See, many times when I discuss policies or
30 seconds.
schemes with the people, they might not be knowing, or they might be resilient to not to approach government. So don't fear, just approach to the government and take the benefit. That is
Very
must.
good, very good, very good. This is an open invitation to all of you. Yes, sir. Last.
Short में बताता हूँ. तो first of all, I am agree with Tejas ji. We are having the portal where you can access all our schemes at one place. That's my MSME. And similarly, Gujarat state is also having. Number two, what we see as the most, the threat or the challenge for the MSMEs is what ma'am said correctly, access, but it is the cost of capital. We have to reduce the cost of capital, because if it is in the double digit, definitely your margin will be impacted. So we are working on that.
Thank you. સો ઇતના તો એવી તો ખબર પડી જ ગઈ કે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી અને ગવર્મેન્ટે હાથ મિલાવીને આ મિશન અને વિઝન આપણે આગળ લઈ જવાનું છે, અને અહીંયા આપણે સાબિત કરી બતાવ્યું કે આ લોકો એકબીજાને પૂરક જ છે. તો થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ ફોર પ્રોવાઇડિંગ યોર એક્સપિરિયન્સીસ એન્ડ ટિપ્સ. આઈ એમ શ્યોર ધી પબ્લિક વિલ ટેક અવે ધી મેસેજ. આઈ થિંક જેનિલ વી ઓપન, યસ, સો હી હેડ એ ક્વેશ્ચન દેર. એન્ડ ઇફ યુ હેવ સમ ક્વેશ્ચન સ્પેસિફિક ટુ સમવન ઓર જનરલ, યુ કેન ટેલ.
Can I start?
બહુ અઘરો નહીં પૂછવાનો હો.
First of all, I would like to thank all the students from all the three universities, NFSU, GU and GTU. And it was wonderful for you to remain over here and try to learn. From Dr. Jaimin Vasa, AMA MSME Development Center, I announce કે જે સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ આજની આ વર્કશોપ એટેન્ડ કરી છે એનો સારો પ્રોજેક્ટ બનાવીને આપશે, એમના જે 3 જણા ડાયરેક્ટર સાથે આવ્યા છે, તો એને અમારા સેન્ટર તરફથી પ્રાઇઝ, કેશ પ્રાઇઝ મની મળશે. સો આઈ વુડ રિક્વેસ્ટ કિંજલબેન, તમે લોકો એને તૈયાર કરીને આપો. આઈ વોન્ટ યુ ટુ લર્ન મોર એન્ડ મોર. માય ક્વેશ્ચન્સ ટુ યુ, અમોલીબેન. What difficulties you face when you join the business, and also what is your advice to the young women entrepreneurs to grow and to become successful? Thank you.
So when I joined the business, two type of difficulty I face, I would say. First, when you are second generation, there are people much more experienced than you already working in the business. So that was first difficulty for me, that I have to get, because I have some new ideas, new philosophy, and I have to adapt to the old philosophy first and then mold them to my new philosophy. That was first challenge. Second challenge was, okay, it is related to, because we were exporting at that time to some 7 or 8 countries, and my vision was to be world leader or something in our business. So that was more challenging, because see, when you want to do export, branding plays a major role, and at that time, like in 2003, digital marketing was not present. I mean, internet was there, but there was no digital platform. Many of you this young generation was very young at that time, and this social media marketing was not at all present. So for us, it was like to participate in different trade shows, find the agent network, because when you are in capital machinery, there are two things. You have to have service backup, because someone, when they buy their machinery, they need the service backup also. And at that time, these kind of government schemes were also not there. Maybe few schemes were there, but today we are getting MDA grants for participating in exhibitions. So there was limited resources, and then you have to be selective that where you want to expand. So you have to do lot of market research. You have to find, proper customer base, who is operating there, what is the competition, and then you have to decide, because you cannot take part in all and every exhibition. You have to be very selective, and so that was my challenge at that time. But by God's grace and whatever it is, we are very successful, and probably every year we have added 2 or 3 countries since then, and today we are exporting to 55 countries.
Thank you. અને મહિલા એન્ટરપ્રેન્યોર શું એડવાઇસ છે, એક એડવાઇસ?
Yeah, for women entrepreneur, I think there are lot of advantages probably. Probably MSME Manoj bhai can give you more detail what kind of benefits. See, if women can ઘર સંભાળી શકો ને તો કંઈ પણ કરી શકો, એવું છે. કારણ કે બહુ બધું ઘર સંભાળવામાં there are lot more challenges than to run the industry. And I think, see, in our factory, I mean, it is engineering industry, but we have many women working, and they are they are very honest. That is number one. They are very dedicated and very precise. So someone is, in marketing we have women, we have
yes, very true. I think they are doing wonderful in marketing.
So yeah.
જયમીન ભાઈ ખોટો સવાલ પૂછી લીધો, આપણા પર બધું આવી ગયું. Yes, any?
Yeah, I am Dinesh Daga from Shri Alloys Limited. My real question is, we are in engineering side. we are on one side, you are saying a lot of unemployment is there, but at the same time, we are facing a lot of shortage of workforce and motivated workforce and stable workforce. How would you take it and how would you guide to go ahead? Thank you.
This is the we are having, means we don't have the employable graduates nowadays. We are having so many engineering graduates, but there are hardly any. See, for that we are having the tool rooms. Earlier we were having the training scheme, but now we make a separate ministry for that, Ministry of Skill Development. Under them they are giving the training. We are having around 40 they are running at the 5 or in the tool rooms where we are giving them the skill training for the specific job, for the welder, fitter, electrician, something like that. And apart from that, there is one scheme is also going on for the EPF. If you employ someone, so EPF is paying you some money for the employee also and that the employer both. So take the benefit of that also.
हाँ, मैं थोड़ा बताना चाहूँगा. एक तो अपना यंग लोग यहाँ हैं, इनके लिए चैलेंज है कि ज़्यादा वो लोग कॉर्पोरेट की तरफ देखते हैं, बट MSME इज़ अ वंडरफुल फोरम टू टेक ऑल्सो एम्प्लॉयमेंट. तो वहाँ तो आपको पूरा एक्सपीरियंस मिल जाएगा लाइट तरफ का. तो ये भी एक एकेडमी इंडस्ट्री लिंकेजेस आई थिंक फ्रॉम द इंडस्ट्री साइड विल बी ऑल्सो. सम मोर क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम एनीवन?
Maybe I have two questions. Pilak bhai, you or Amoli could decide who wants to answer one or distribute. Two questions. One, any failure, how did you handle? Because I'm sure, 15, 20 years of industry, you're dead sure this will work, and business is something that most often things that you don't expect happen first. So one, how did you handle one of your top failures or biggest failures? And the other is any tips on handling discussions within family? Because I understand you have a father who's worked, you have a brother, father. So again, sometimes the disagreements can reach to the homes. How do you handle that? Is there a way to make sure that the best opinion wins and not necessarily the loudest person in the family wins?
So that is dinner table talk. Dinner table talk.
So, Jainil, I must say that both are excellent questions. And I think about the first question, I must say that I was fortunate that in first 5 years of working with Harsha, I saw some failure that even company had not seen, not only personally, but even some of the incidences happened which were even too big for the organization to handle. And I was at the helm of it, so I was involved in it in a good way or bad way. But I think one of the biggest learning from that experience is that don't take it personally. Identify the issue objectively. See what you can learn from it, and how you can come about stronger. And again, say just to give you an example, very first year of my joining, I was handling a production unit within our company, and we supplied a product to USA. The customer made the bearing. The bearing was supplied to somewhere in South America, used in Japanese equipment, and one dimension was out of specification, and the bearing started failing. And customer in 2006 put a $1.5 million claim on our company. And again, it's a big amount then also and now also. Fortunately, I was involved in that interaction with customer end to end. And again, we were able to objectively define where we were wrong, where we were not. There were a lot of interaction that happened with the customer. Ultimately, we had to take part of the ownership of what was our problem. But then again, it also opened our eyes on strengthening our quality systems. It also opened our eyes on how we were meticulous about every new product that we were developing. So and again today also I feel that within our organization that segment has one of the strongest quality systems even today. So again, one example of failure. Then you shared about family business. And again, I think in our case, uniqueness is that we are not one family, we are two families, running the business together. And again, my father, Raju bhai and Harish bhai are friends from college. And again, personalities also which are poles apart, very different from each other. So, I believe that, and again, in the initial year, that was a situation, you get praised by one for something, and for the very same thing, you get, beaten up by the other person, because there is a difference in the way of looking at things. In 2012, we were fortunate, I and Vishal were fortunate to attend a family business program in ISB. And we learned a lot of good concepts on how the families who are successful for generations are, imbibing those concepts. It is like running a company. If you are not, aware about how to run a successful family business, it's like running your company without one department less. You go to any company and you see HR and marketing and production and finance and whatnot. Imagine only one department was non-existent. How challenging it will be to run that company. So today, many of the family businesses are running without that awareness that, if you are a family business, even though family businesses contribute so much to the economy, but managing family dynamic also is one aspect of running a business. And if you ignore it, then, you will face trouble in sustaining the family for long term.
Very true, very true. इनको कुछ I think most of the MSMEs are family businesses, and I think this is a very important question that you would ask, that the softer part of family part is missing, and therefore the challenges. Yes.
I'm Dr. Kinjal Desai, representing Gujarat University. I'm placement officer over there, and when I heard the word employable, it hurt the core of my heart that yes, employability is a big issue. So I want to ask a question over here to entire panel. How can we increase the employability of our students so that the industries choose them on the first sight? Whenever they take interviews, they should be their first choice. So what is the input from the panel over here?
Government of India has started one scheme of apprenticeship where the large industries can hire and some of the cost will be borne by the government of India. One. Second, as I told, we are having the separate ministry for the skill development. Third, we are also giving, in fact, we as a volunteer, what we are doing, we are inviting the college students, particularly for the engineering side, to visit our testing laboratories so that they can see that how the instruments operate, how they think. Because, see, don't mind, because we are academy and industry go together. See, the academics is a bit behind, means they are teaching the history rather than the future. So you people have to tie up with someone who can give the training for the applied side. So apprentice is one scheme, and we are having some shorter courses also. So you can take the advantage of that.
Yeah, sure. So I think, if I am allowed to say, I will say this is one of the biggest challenge that we face as an industry. And again, I would rather say that situation is becoming more dire, looking at the growth path that we want for our country and the kind of need there is for, employable people. And again, there I also see a stark difference between our experience in India and in China. So we also have a plant in China, and there we could see that close to the industrial cluster, there are, good training institutes, and the graduates coming out of it come out with a lot of practical experiences. So again, my question to your answer, Kinjal, would be that we need a much closer interaction between industry and government to really understand what is required by the industry, how it becomes part of the curriculum, and even in terms of setting up skill development centers, how there can be a more free hand to industries and less bureaucracy. That would be my point.
Yeah, Pilak bhai, bahut sarat.
I'll just add one point.
Like government has set up a Center for Entrepreneurship Development, CEDs centers, so which are giving various trainings. It's not just for entrepreneurship, but for various core concepts as well. So you can motivate your students to go there and take part, because that is real life scenarios. Another thing, what I've seen is like there is a shift from student mindset as well. I'm sure you must have seen, like I passed out my engineering in 2007, MBA 2009. So at that time, the core thing in any advertisement, so right from years there is advertisement and everything. So it used to be placement, right? So like we are having 100% placement, this institute, that institute. Nowadays, it is about the festives. Like we celebrate this festival, we celebrate that festival, these days are being celebrated, we invite this celebrity. So the focus of even students has been shifted from employability towards the fun. So that is the core thing, because like whatever development you do in curriculum or whatever exposure you give, but the one who has that, student needs to have that feeling or that concept or that approach, that my ultimate goal after this education is to get into the industry or to get the job, because like fun is for 2 years, and once you get the job, then rest life is there for the fun. Right? So that is must.
I would like to answer your question because આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહેવત છે ને, કેળમાં છોકરોને ગામમાં શોધી આપણે. તમારે આપણી ગુજરાત યુનિવર્સિટીમાં જ ડૉક્ટર જૈમિન વસા MSME ચેર તમે લોકોએ આપી છે. જર્ની ફ્રોમ એજ્યુકેશન ટુ એન્ટરપ્રિનર એ સ્કીમ ઉપર દરેકે દરેક ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટમાં અમારે આસિસ્ટન્ટ છે મયંકભાઈ, એ કરીએ છીએ. પ્લેસમેન્ટ ટ્રેનિંગ આપીએ છીએ અને જે તમારા કોર્સિસ છે એને એમ્પ્લોયેબલ કેવી રીતે કરી શકાય એમાં ફેરફાર સૂચવ્યા છે. પણ સોરી ટુ સે દેટ એ ચેરની અમને ઓફિસ આપી છે, ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર આપ્યું છે, બહુ જ ઓછી ટીમો એનો લાભ લે છે. મેં 2-3 વાર આપને ધ્યાન દોરેલું કે દરેક તમારા આપણે કેમિકલ છે, ફાર્મા છે, લાઈફ સાયન્સ છે, મેનેજમેન્ટ છે, લો છે, અને મારી પાસે એડવાઇઝર્સ છે. વી હેવ એડવાઇઝર્સ, રિયલ લાઈફ એક્સપિરિયન્સ મળે એવા કેમિકલ, ફાર્મા, લોજિસ્ટિક એ બધામાં એક્સપર્ટ્સ છે. દેટ ઇઝ માય આઈડિયા કે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી અને એજ્યુકેશનનો ઇન્ટરેક્શન પ્રોગ્રામ વધારે કરી, પ્લેસમેન્ટ ટ્રેનિંગ વધારે મળે અને અમે છોકરાઓને કે સ્ટુડન્ટ્સને વધારેમાં વધારે સારું નોલેજ અને રિયલ લાઈફ એક્સપિરિયન્સ અમારા જૈનિલભાઈને બધા જે છે અમારી એક એડવાઇઝર ગ્રુપ છે, તો આપણે આવીને વાતચીત કરીએ તો મને ચોક્કસ ખાતરી છે વી આર ગિવિંગ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલ વિઝિટ્સ ઓલ્સો, પ્લેસમેન્ટ ટ્રેનિંગ ઓલ્સો, પણ બહુ ઓછા લોકો લાભ લે છે. ઓન ધી કોન્ટ્રી બહારની યુનિવર્સિટીવાળા ગુજરાત કરતાં NFSU છે, GTU છે, ગણપત છે, એ ખૂબ લાભ લે છે. આપણે બેસીએ સાથે રહી અને કેવી રીતે એનો લાભ તમે પણ લઈ શકો અને અમે પણ આપી શકીએ એ જોઈ શકીએ આપણે. થેન્ક યુ.
Thank you. Samir bhai wanted to ask something.
I actually pity the lady from the Gujarat University because everybody seems to be bashing her. Ma'am, I'll just take a minute. I sit on the board of the Logistics Sector Skill Council under the Ministry of Human Resources. I have designed more than 40 curriculums and I am on the board of studies of various universities as far as logistics is concerned. The biggest problem is not industry, academia partnership. It is not also what Tejas bhai said. It is the way you are designing your curriculums. Your board of studies they are never a serious exercise. I'm sorry to use this language. It's all pre-decided before your members of the board of studies come for the meeting. There is no freedom to industry to say, look, this is wrong. You need to do it in this manner. And the standard answer is UGC doesn't permit it. Now, either you follow UGC or you look at the future of the students. I think the real problem is there. Industry is prepared to participate. Industry is prepared to open their homes and offices for your student, open their factories. The internship apprentice scheme is such a wonderful scheme, but no university is promoting it. It's one of the best schemes. No, ma'am, not that. For industry, Pilak is here, Amoli is here. your students are such wonderful raw material for them. They have to pay 70% of minimum wages and they get a full-time employee. Why has it not become a success? There needs to be a debate on that why has it not become a success? So my request to you and the other two universities here is, please look at your board of studies and please look at the process of your board of studies. Industry will open up and come across to you all.
Yes, very true, very true. I think fully agree.
Wonderful suggestions from all of you. I think that will help me to work better in the coming years. One more request to the industry people that please raise your pay structure also, because you are raising your quality, but if you are not going to pay good, then you will not get good quality people, because this generation, Gen Z, looks for better packages and then only they would like to apply.
Yes, I think while it is a suggestion, but I would like to say to work in MSME is like an incubation center. They will get ready to go to the world. I think first let them not worry about salary. Let them worry about experience, the real experience. So let them work there. I think SME is not able to attract not only because of this, because they have different expectation, unwanted expectation के बढ़ा जा रहा है. Anyway, there is a debate आपने बताया.
मैं एक लाइटर वेन में सर, एक लाइटर वेन में एक वो वाक्य सुनाता हूँ सर. एक मिनट. मैं एक फ्रेंड के पास बैठा हुआ था, हमारे गुजराती फ्रेंड है. तो मैंने उनको पूछा, यार ये बताओ, ये तुम लोगों के यहाँ इतनी इंटरप्राइज कैसे लग जाती है? हमारे महाराष्ट्र में तो नहीं लगाते यार. ऐसा क्या है आप लोगों के यहाँ? कुछ तो होगा ऐसा. मतलब कुछ नहीं यार, हम पगार ही नहीं देते. वो झक मार के ना खुद काम स्टार्ट करता है.
Interesting.
But sir, in our Gujarat, like, business is in the blood of everyone. So,
Yes. Myself, Hitesh Patel, Director of Supersem Private Limited and an inventor. My question is to Mr. Manoj and Mr. Tejas. And as Ms. Amoli said that R&D is what is required at the present stage. Why China ki product jo hai, now chand nahi hai, it has evolved. Okay. So more focus should be on the R&D. The IPs, students should be made aware of the IPs. How can they protect their ideas? But the darker side is also that I am a patent holder of my product. Earlier I was not knowing anything about the IP. But when I got to know, and earlier I had created job for more than 20,000 people, but I was not knowing, so it was not documented. After that, when I knew about the IPs, I started working on my one product, which is a very little product, but the patent has been granted for that product. Now somebody is copying. I had filed a case for that patent, but since last 3 years, the judges are changing, plus the case which is put in front of the judge, they are not the technical person to answer that program. So the focus should be made on that, how we can protect our IPs. Because in the end of the mind, what matters? Patent मिल गया तो we are king, but that is not the situation. India में patent sir एक हो रही है, US में हो रही है 10,000, China में हो रही है 10,000. So we are lacking this, and we are lacking also the protection from the government for the IP products. So please focus on this.
3 वे में अलग अलग बताता हूँ. अर्लियर क्या हो रहा था, हम लोगों ने जानबूझ के अपना जो आईपी था ना उसको रिलैक्स किया होता, सो दैट हम मैन्युफैक्चर कर सकें. और हम लोग प्रोसेस पेटेंट को मानते थे, प्रोडक्ट पेटेंट को नहीं मानते थे. हम लोग बोलते थे हमने डिफरेंट प्रोसेस किया है, तो हमने जानबूझ के किया था सो दैट के, बिकॉज हमारी नीड अलग थी. चाइना में खाली इस वजह से चाइना ग्रो नहीं हुआ है कि वहाँ पे पेटेंट है या ये नहीं. उनके यहाँ जो इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल है ना वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. उनका जो उनका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है वो हमसे बहुत आगे है. अब आई बात थर्ड की, आप उसे प्रोटेक्ट कैसे करें. आप बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं, इवॉल्विंग है. अभी भी जो पेटेंट ऑफिस है वहाँ पे लोग जो हैं उनको पेटेंट की नॉलेज नहीं है. कई बार होती भी है तो उसको क्या होता है, वो किसी एक फील्ड का एक्सपर्ट होता है और ये आप किसी दूसरे फील्ड का लेके आए. इसके लिए आप क्या करिए, IPFC में किसी में भी जाइए, जो भी आपके नियर बाई, कहीं नहीं हो तो हमारे पास आइए, हम आपको वहाँ पे हेल्प कराएंगे. क्योंकि वो हर एक अब अगर कोई IP है दैट मीन्स वो यूनिक होगा, वो यूनिक है. जो वहाँ बैठा हुआ मजिस्ट्रेट है वो उसका मास्टर शायद नहीं होगा, तो उसको कुछ सपोर्टिंग चीज़ें चाहिए, वो चाहिए, तो हम आपकी हेल्प करेंगे. उसमें किसी IPFC को विजिट करिए, किसी हम लगभग सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में हम लोगों के IPFC हैं. ठीक है, शायद गणपत यूनिवर्सिटी में भी आया, बट मुझे लगा मेजर में सभी में, जिसमें ना हो अप्लाई कर दो, ले लो भाई है, और कहीं नहीं हो तो हमारे ऑफिस आ जाइए. ठीक है.
Okay, thank you.
Hi.
So,
Sorry for
Bhai.
Two things. One, to take his discussion forward and to answer ma'am's question about Gujarat University students asking for more salary and all.
થોડું સોલ્યુશન આપજો હવે બીજું કંઈ
No, solution જ આપું છું. We'll have to also introspect that how many visiting faculties from the industry come to the university. Number one. Number two, just like students are expecting more salary packages, probably if at all you want to involve more visiting faculty from the industry, that pay scale also needs to increase. It can't be one way, it has to be both ways. Only if at all the charges are very limited, then probably only passionate people would come. The industry may not be able to send, because you have to equate 1 hour of the time of somebody, some expert from an industry, vis-a-vis the 1 hour he spends probably in the university. So that is one thing. Secondly, my question is to Amoli Ben. You said about the sustainability part, and this seminar is all about that. So my question is that you mentioned about the dyeing machine, indigo dyeing machine, Sukar Muller you were talking about probably, where from 8 to 10 batches you can reduce it to 3 or 4. So eventually, yes, cost reduction would happen. But what about specifically for MSME? What about the first initial cost? I'll give you the exact simile to ZLD, zero liquid discharge. Like government told industry that okay, ZLD is must now. Very few MSMEs could afford that cost initially, and half of them, I know because I am from that industry, half of them have closed down the operations. So eventually, yes, the cost would reduce. But what about the initial support, either from the government or from wherever, where industry or especially MSMEs can absorb that initial cost?
See, Manoj, we just say that, okay, if somebody is buying your machine, we will give them grant. So that is already there. And second thing is, initial cost is not much compared to the traditional machine cost, because we are reducing the scope of supply by importing some different technology. And today, some brands like Levi's, they have, certain portion of fabric has to be from sustainable product. That is the norm. So, I mean, if India can take the advantages of that, that's fine. Otherwise, there are other countries, South American countries, they are taking advantages of this niche market. So, there is not a high initial cost, and MSME is giving their support for this kind of effort.
Okay, so I think we will...
Only one point. For the students, basically, see, as my experience goes, initially students, they look for package only. Rather, if they are looking for initial 5 years for the experience gaining, and then they add their value, then they will be really valued based on their experience. Otherwise, in the 5 years, they may be jumping for 2 jobs or 3 jobs, and in that their CV is spoiled, rather, I would say. So that is my suggestion for the incoming generations.
I know. I think I'm happy કે આપણે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીમાંથી એકેડેમિકમાં ગયા છીએ, કારણ કે આ બહુ જરૂરિયાત છે. કે થેન્ક યુ કિંજલબેન ફોર બ્રિંગિંગ આઉટ. છેલ્લું 1-2 વસ્તુ મારે કહેવી છે જમીનભાઈને અને આપણા ફોરમને, કે આટલા બધા સારા અનુભવો અહીંયા આવ્યા છે, આટલું બધું આપણને જાણવા મળે છે. હવે આપણે એવા કયા ફોરમ કરીએ કે આ બધી વસ્તુ MSME સુધી પહોંચે? અને એમાં એક સજેશન મારું એવું છે જૈનિલભાઈ, કે કેન વી હેવ સમ બેસ્ટ પ્રેક્ટિસીસ બુકલેટ ફ્રોમ યોર સાઇડ? આઈ થિંક યુ આર ગુડ ઇન રાઇટિંગ. તો થોડી સસ્ટેનેબિલિટી અને આની કોઈ બેસ્ટ પ્રેક્ટિસની એક બુકલેટ કરીએ આપણે, અને ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીમાં કોઈ સારા ડિસિમિનેટ કરીએ સોશિયલ મીડિયા ઓનલાઈન કરીને, કે જેથી એમને ખબર પડે. તો આઈ થિંક થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ ફોર પ્રોવાઇડિંગ સચ વન્ડરફુલ એક્સપિરિયન્સ એન્ડ વન્ડરફુલ ક્વેશ્ચન્સ એન્ડ અધર થિંગ. મને ખબર છે તમે તો ચાઇનાની કોમ્પિટિશનનું સાહેબે PhD કર્યું છે, અને એમની પાસે તો ઘણો અનુભવ છે, એટલે અનુભવ સાહેબ બધાને વધારે તમે આપો જ છો. પણ કોઈ very good, very good. So let us distribute and disseminate this book. Jainil, over to you.
Certainly. No, thank you so much once again, ladies and gentlemen. A loud round of applause for our moderator and the entire panel. I think I'm sure you're young enough not to understand it right away, but as you grow old, you'll realize as a businessman, it's not very easy to take out 2, 3, 4 hours from your schedule વટવામાં ફેક્ટરી હોય, આવતા 40 મિનિટ થાય, અહીંયા 2 કલાક થાય, પાછા જતા 40 મિનિટ થાય. But I think the contribution you've made, Pilakbhai, Amoli, I think the students are going to likely take that for lifetime. So thank you so much to our friends from the policy side. I think Tejas Bhai and Vats sir, I think thank you so much once again. You've always been available, we've known, but for us, it's always an honor to have you at AMA. And Chandramauli sir, one amongst us, but thank you so much for doing it so well. We have a small announcement. You would have seen in the poster that at AMA we want to continue this dialogue, and as a part of it we are starting this counseling session assistance. We have our friend Mahir there in blue shirt. He'll be taking names of any entrepreneur who is willing to come forward for any assistance. Tamne finance side, subsidy side, HR, marketing, digital media, any support if you need from any of the experts, you can put your request to Mahir as a part of the center of Dr. Jaimin Vasa. We will reach out to you as and when the expert is available. અને આપણા AMA જ એકાદ કમિટી રૂમમાં એક 1-to-1 session, counseling session we will set up in the coming week. So that is one request. And yes, MSME help desk is the format. So on that note, thank you once again. All the students, some of your certificates are exactly available at the same place where your registration happened. And we proceed now for the dinner. The dinner is happening in the multi-purpose exhibition hall. Yeah. So thank you so much once again. All the members of the AMA governing board, Radia sir, all